The Genius Club with Prairie Pine. Chapter 66. The Ruthless Gangster. Alex held the gun and strode forward, his posture firm and unwavering. Hey, are you just gonna walk in like this? Big face. Cat's voice trembled with shock. Despite his surprise, he quickly followed behind Alex obediently, not daring to fall behind. The two moved toward the black sedan parked in front of the villa, the night air thick with tension. Alex stopped in front of the black sedan, his eyes sharp and focused on the vehicle. Oh, man. A loud gunshot rang out, shattering the quiet night air. No one could even see him draw or aim the gun. It was far too fast. In the blink of an eye, Alex's incredible marksmanship had pierced the car window. The bullet hit the driver directly in the head, killing him instantly. Damn, what kind of shooting is that? Big Face Cat exclaimed in disbelief. The driver stared blankly, his eyes lifeless as he slouched in the seat. He never knew how he died, his expression frozen in confusion. Catch one. Alex spoke a single word, his voice calm and unemotional. Whoosh! The gun flew through the air toward Big Face Cat. Big Face Cat fumbled for a moment before catching it tightly. Alex then opened the car door and pulled another black pistol from the driver's waist. He checked the gun briefly before speaking again, his tone leaving no room for hesitation. Up to the second floor. The villa was huge, with winding corridors and numerous rooms. But Alex navigated it with ease, turning left and right without hesitation. Soon, he reached a bedroom door at the end of a hallway. Bang! Alex kicked the door open with a powerful force, the wood creaking loudly. Eek! Who's there? A man and a woman on the bed panicked. They scrambled to sit up, their faces pale with fear. Don't move. Alex pointed the gun at them, his voice cold and steady. The couple froze in place, not daring to breathe or make a sound. They stared at the gun in Alex's hand, terror evident in their eyes. After a long while, Big Face Cat tore up the bedsheets into thick strips. He tied the two tightly, binding their hands and feet securely to prevent escape. Alex sat on the edge of the bed, watching him with a neutral expression. Face bro, drive the van over here directly. Alex spoke, his eyes scanning the room. The garage, basement, wine cellar, underground pool, they're all full of gold bars, sacks of cash and jewelry. Move all of it, then come back and get me. I'll keep an eye on them here. If there are any safes or code cabinets, come ask them for the codes. Alex's instructions were clear, leaving no room for misunderstanding. Got it. Big Face Cat replied eagerly, his eyes lighting up at the mention of treasure. He grabbed the keychain from the table and scurried down the stairs quickly. He couldn't wait to start moving the golden cash, his mind racing with excitement. Alex sat on the bed and checked his watch, the hands pointing to 12 o'clock. He'd already finished tonight's mission, but he had to wait a little longer. He'd stay here with Big Face Cat until 12:42 a.m., as planned. Alex knew that no matter how much gold Big Face Cat moved, it would all be for nothing. The world would end exactly 42 minutes later, wiping away everything. But avenging his daughter was Big Face Cat's lifelong obsession, so he let him savor the moment. With nothing to do, Alex began scanning the room's decorations, his eyes moving slowly. The bedroom was spacious and decorated extremely luxuriously, fit for a wealthy man. Every piece of furniture and ornament exuded an air of opulence. On the large desk in one corner of the room, there were several standing photo frames. Each frame held a picture of Tully with various world-class celebrities. Alex glanced at them, recognizing many familiar faces. Alex knew Tully well, his old ATM, or rather, old friend. Over the past 20 years, he'd visited Tully's villa many times. He'd seen these photos years ago, but he hadn't paid much attention to them then. There were truly many big names among the photos, all influential figures. Alex vaguely remembered that the most prominent one was a photo of Tully with a world leader. That photo was truly weighty, a symbol of Tully's connections. There were also many world-famous stars and athletes in the photos. Many of the people Alex had seen on the covers of bookstore magazines were there, including even the world. Alex stopped thinking, a look of confusion crossing his face. He narrowed his eyes, a sudden thought flashing through his mind. Slowly, he stood up from the bed and walked toward the desk. He strode over to Tully's desk and flipped through the photo frames on it. Suddenly, he remembered something. One of these photos was strange. He hadn't paid much attention to it before, but now it caught his eye. He hadn't paid much attention to it before because he'd known nothing about the Genius Club back then. But now, after learning about the club, the photo seemed different. He searched through the frames, his movements quick and purposeful. Found it. Alex picked up a photo frame and stared at the picture inside intently. His eyes narrowed, and a serious expression crossed his face. In the photo, Tully sat solemnly on a chair, his posture rigid and formal. His right hand was raised to eyebrow level, index finger pointing straight at the sky. The gesture was weird and arrogant, unlike Tully's usual demeanor. That gesture. Alex's mind raced, recalling the wax seal on the Genius Club's invitation. The weird gesture stamped on the wax was exactly the same as the one in the photo. A chill ran down his spine as he made the connection. The cool wind from the air conditioner crept up his pants legs, making him shiver slightly. Alex slowly turned around, looking at Tully, who was kneeling on the ground tied up. Tully's face was pale, and he avoided Alex's gaze, filled with fear. Big Face Cat's words echoed in his ears, clear and distinct. Rumors say only the top tycoons, the most extreme geniuses, and the most powerful figures can receive an invitation to this club. Alex's expression turned cold, his grip on the photo frame tightening. Bang! He slammed the photo frame onto the stool in front of Tully, making a loud noise. Then he cocked the gun, the sound of the hammer clicking echoing in the room. No, 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 no. Don't kill me. I'll do anything. Please, I'll tell you everything. Don't kill me. Tully's face turned as white as a sheet, and he struggled frantically, begging for his life. His pupils trembled violently with fear, his body shaking uncontrollably. His voice cracking as he begged, he repeated his pleas over and over. I only want to know one thing, Alex said calmly, his voice showing no emotion. He stared at Tully, his eyes cold and unforgiving, leaving no room for lies. Tully nodded frantically, his head bobbing up and down rapidly. I'll tell you everything. He screamed, desperate to save his life. He would say anything, do anything, as long as Alex didn't kill him. Alex squatted down, staring straight into Tully's eyes, his gaze piercing. He wanted to see if Tully was lying, to catch any hint of deception. Tell me, what exactly is the Genius Club? What club? Tully stared blankly, confusion written all over his face. He blinked several times, as if he didn't understand the question. The name meant nothing to him, leaving him completely confused. The Genius Club, that I. Alex repeated the name, his tone sharp and firm. He enunciated each word clearly, ensuring Tully heard it correctly. He waited for Tully's response, his finger hovering over the trigger. The genius, what? Tully stammered, still confused and terrified. He racked his brain, but the name the Genius Club meant nothing to him. He had no memory of ever hearing it before. Alex pulled the trigger, and Tully screamed in terror. He closed his eyes tightly, bracing for the pain of the bullet. But to his shock, he didn't feel any pain. He hadn't been shot. His pupils shook as he slowly opened his eyes and glanced to the side. There, he saw his mistress, her body slumping weakly against the nightstand. She had a blood-stained hole in the back of her head, her eyes lifeless. And from the half-open drawer of the nightstand, the silver grip of a pistol peeked out. Tully realized what had happened, his mouth dropping open in shock. She had tried to escape and fight back, only to be shot by Alex. Alex pressed the still hot muzzle against Tully's forehead, the heat burning his skin. It was burning, but facing this ruthless killer, Tully didn't dare move an inch. He held his breath, his body trembling with fear, afraid to make a sound. I'm not messing with you. I really haven't heard of this club you're talking about, he stammered. His voice was shaking, but he spoke the truth, desperate to be believed. He had never heard of the Genius Club, not even once. She broke free on her own to get the gun. It has nothing to do with me. I'm being good. I'll tell you anything you ask. Take whatever you want. Tully begged, his eyes filled with tears, hoping to convince Alex of his innocence. By now, Tully had figured out what had happened to his mistress. She had somehow untied the bedsheets binding her hands and rushed to the nightstand. She had tried to grab the gun inside to fight back against Alex and him. But he never could have imagined. This gangster's shooting was so fast and accurate. He hadn't even seen him lift the gun to aim, hadn't even glanced in her direction. Alex had shot her in the head in an instant, without any hesitation. The Genius Club, right? Let me think. Sweat poured down Tully's face. His forehead was covered in beads of sweat, dripping down his cheeks. He tried to recall anything related to the club, his mind racing. His hands were tied behind his back, so he couldn't wipe the sweat off his face. He didn't dare to move, just held his head up, his mind racing through memory. He searched every corner of his memory for the name of this club. The Genius Club, the Genius Club. He muttered the words, his expression filled with pain. He closed his eyes tightly, trying to force the memory to surface. But no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't remember anything about the club. Finally, he opened his eyes, on the verge of tears, his face filled with despair. I really can't think of it. I've never heard of this club in my life. He spoke the truth, his voice breaking with emotion. I've joined many clubs, all kinds of them, but this one you're talking about? I have no memory of it at all. I'm not lying to you. I'm so scared of dying. I'm in this state. Why would I lie to you? Tully begged, his tears finally falling down his cheeks. He was truly terrified, and he would never lie at a time like this. Still pretending. Alex sneered deliberately, his tone filled with disdain. He didn't believe Tully's words, thinking he was trying to hide the truth. You tired of living? This photo is ironclad proof of the Genius Club. W what? Tully looked confused, squinting to stare at the photo on the stool. He leaned forward as much as he could, trying to see the photo clearly. But he still didn't understand what Alex was talking about. I really don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're trying to say or ask. He was so anxious he started crying, his body shaking even more violently. Can you give me a hint? If I really know what you're asking, I'll definitely tell you. Tully, I'll give you one last chance to explain. Alex's voice turned cold, his patience wearing thin. He pointed at Tully's right hand in the photo, the one pointing straight at the sky. His finger was steady, his gaze fixed on Tully, waiting for his answer. What exactly does this gesture mean?